Hello, Mr. Dixon.
Hey!
Hola!
Oh, this is a thoroughly professional operation we've got going on here.
Oh, what's up, guys? How are you?
Good, you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
good,
we're all right.
we had one of our co-hosts
that we've just gone through in the last 15 minutes. It's been fucking hilarious.
Andrew was about ready to put a gun to her head. So.
Really, yeah?
Had no audio, and they're all laughing at me while I was trying to work out why I couldn't hear them, and then it just started working again. I'm old. I don't know.
She's old.
Blaming it on the old age.
Oh, I'm the youngest out of all of them, by the way, just saying.
I was going to say, you look like you're in your mid-20s.
Oh, thank you. Have you been drinking already? Is it only lunchtime?
Yeah.
It's a really, really small screen.
You're so funny, Stu.
Look, this is a conversation that we've been looking forward to for a couple of weeks now. So thank you so much for signing up for this.
No worries. No worries.
You were definitely one of the big names.
Bravest.
Bravest. Yeah.
We saw you on the virtual MotoGP, and some of your comments and feedback on that. I was saying to the rest of the team, it was just like, Jake's someone we definitely need to get on, and we need to get Sarah on this as well, because we've been stalking you through the Facebook and the Instagrams, and you're definitely a couple that definitely makes your mark on the world. So.
In a good way, I hope.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I'm actually going to make an announcement. I'm going to quit racing and go to basketball, as you've probably seen on my Instagram. So, yeah.
Talk about trick shots, man. You've got all the moves.
Now, after watching the Michael Jordan documentary, I've seen that I can make a lot more money elsewhere.
Oh, my God, how good was it? Hey, he went and did baseball.
So good.
He went and did
he's just
baseball.
a legend. He's literally a legend.
Exactly.
I couldn't get over the tongue thing. I was asking my husband, I'm like, does he always...
Sorry, what? The tongue what?
When every time he's doing stuff, he's like... You've seen him do it, right?
I think he might have been watching a different documentary.
Yeah.
An adult show.
I'm pretty sure that was Tiger King, Andrew.
No.
The second best show on TV at the moment. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's get
guys,
serious.
You've probably figured out that this isn't going to be your normal racing interview. So,
no, that's good. I like it.
There'll be, we normally keep it fairly loose, and we normally...
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, we normally pepper it with some racing questions, but we're more interested in finding out what's going on in your lives from this perspective. As we've spoken to a couple, if you've done even 20 seconds of research on us, we'd like to get the perspective of both you and Sarah. That's important to us, and to how you are as a team for both of you, because as we've found previously, some of the best stories and some of the most enlightening things that your fans are going to love is not what comes out of Jake, but what comes out of Team Dixon. So
you don't want to know what goes between Team Dixon and
what happens in Team Dixon stays in Team Dixon.
I don't think I can air it.
That's like most of our podcasts, hey, don't you worry.
Exactly right.
The editing has to be,
it's about 4 hours gets left on the floor after every episode. So.
Yeah.
Look, as I said, guys, thank you so much. How are you surviving? Sarah was telling us that you're back on the track. Like, things are back open in the UK.
Well, it's like private hire is, so you can people that hire the tracks. If you can get a slot with them, that you can go and ride, but they're not actually open to just go on, like, say motocross tracks will open on certain days like Monday, Wednesday and Friday, for instance. There's not that. It's only set days that someone has a private hire that you can go and ride. But mini bike tracks, they're Fat Cats where we're near. It's basically open Monday to Sunday. So we can go ride there whenever we want. And then one other track we have to make appointments for. But yeah, it's good to get back out on the bike. And like I said, for the last 2 days, I've been riding. So yeah, it's been good.
Nice one. So whereabouts, for all the listeners and the viewers, whereabouts in the UK are you? North, south? What are the tracks near you?
So we're based in a place called Oakthorpe, which is just by Donington Park.
handy.
Not far at all.
In the middle.
Yeah, in the Midlands.
Never
So
heard of
yeah,
it.
no,
Is there a racetrack near Donington Park?
Never heard of it.
That's meant to be
There
my
used to be a
question.
music concert there, I remember, but that's about it.
yeah, so that's basically where we are. And we're pretty central to everything. Like, if we wanted to go to Wales, I think Wales is 2 hours, so then there's a lot of mountain bike stuff we can do there.
Does anyone ever want to go to Wales?
Yeah, like, if you want to go there, yeah.
Off a mountain bike, it's stunning. Yeah, it's great.
The sheep are great up there as well.
So you guys do Wales jokes like we do New Zealand jokes?
That's what I was about to say.
They're basically the same nation. They're just on the opposite sides of the world.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Jake, what type of training are you doing? Motocross, dirt bikes, whatever. What are you doing now?
I do a lot of training in the bedroom at the minute.
You have to train longer than that.
On a bike, let's say that.
I was going to say it doesn't last long, but that's high intensity. On serious
training.
note, I just like.
I think Sarah disagrees with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Running.
So she's way fitter than you.
Does this in front of everyone, teams, mechanics.
All the time. You just have to do it. She's used to it by now. She literally, if I say something when we're just alone, she just looks at me and just goes, "Yeah, you're an idiot." so she's so used to it. But no, I've been doing a lot of cycling. I've really got into that over the last sort of 9 to 10 weeks. I used to do a lot more running, but my knees and like hip hurt a lot more because I'm actually getting old. So
I'm feeling your pain, brother. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so that gym, riding now, obviously, but just trying to keep sane is the main.
You're not at the Alicia Spargo level of riding, are you? Where 23 and a half hours of his Instagram feed is dedicated to which portion of...
Yeah, no, I like to cycle, and I've done some big weeks over the last sort of,
Well, the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time I've done, probably in the last sort of 30 days, I'd say I've done nearly 2,500 kilometres.
That's fantastic. Can I, to get a little bit serious for a second, can I just drill into that a little bit and just talk about that? Perhaps, Sarah, you might be able to give the listeners, the viewers, a bit of background as to what the point of the cycling is at the moment, and what you're doing with the charity work and what your journey's been on that.
Oh yeah, at the moment I'm doing a 34-day challenge. Finishes on Saturday, so it's cycling every day. But I work a lot with a charity called Tick-Tock that help young adults with cancer, like with getting back into fitness and everything really, the mind side. And in 2017 I was diagnosed with cancer, and they were one of the first charities that I found that I related to, because it was a young adult charity. So it, the face of it was completely different. And ever since then I've done a lot of work with them and supported them. So I've actually got into cycling as well. Really, which is good, because obviously, it's good to get into a hobby.
She's been smashing it though, like generally smashing it. She's doing 250 kilometres plus a week. She's really doing a lot of kilometres. So
I've been seeing the feeds. It's amazing.
She'll get off and then she'll do the gym workout as well. So it's pretty impressive. Like I say to her, for me it's a job, and I have the motivation of to do it for something, rather than she's not doing it for anything other than just to feel good. So that makes it even more impressive.
Well, that's
awesome.
It's not burning off the frustration of being in a house.
Yeah, probably.
This is the thing. Like, if I'm cycling next to Jake, we did. It was the 69 miles for Nicky on Friday.
Yep.
So we both took part in that. I've never in my life ridden 69 miles on a push bike or bike or anything. And we did it next to each other. You actually had to stay on longer because it was taking me longer to do it. But by the end, it was 111 kilometres, wasn't it?
Yeah, it took us 4 hours.
There's no chance, though, I would have done it without Jake, because he's like, keep going.
But it's on an indoor trainer, so it makes it even worse. Imagine sat on an indoor trainer for 4 hours.
That's the thing. If you're riding 4 hours, you want to be 4 hours away from where you started.
And
then turn around and go back
it
again.
feels like I've just gone round, and I've ended up back there.
Because you normally got to keep going and make it home. Yeah.
Well, look, I must say, like from me, from everybody, I just want to a big, amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Exactly. I think it's amazing the motivational work and the charity work that you're doing. I've seen the money that you're raising with the charity as well. So absolutely fantastic work, Sarah. Thank you, everybody out there. So that's right. That's the serious bit of the podcast.
Can I ask the most important question? This is my question of in all the preparation for this chat. I need to ask you about your TikTok videos.
Yes.
They are fantastic.
Let's
Brilliant.
put something out there. I generally don't like TikTok,
Right.
but Sarah loves TikTok. And she's like put my name in with her to like try and
You're like me, mate. You get roped into it.
Have you seen the latest TikTok I put up of Jake doing a dance?
It's just the big
And it
head
was-
one.
Is that the big?
This is the Monday. I've got nothing to do. Tuesday, I've got nothing to do.
I literally put it out.
The pew pew. Is it the pew pew one or something?
No,
That was.
we put a new one up.
Put a new one up, and he says he doesn't want to do it. Now, if you watch that latest TikTok, he actually said to me, "Sarah, get the camera, film me," and I was like.
Yes.
It's all right, mate. It's a safe space here. You can admit it. It's all right.
It's the isolation, isn't it?
You've got to watch it.
I hate it so much, but am I in focus?
It's so embarrassing.
I've seen people doing it with their riding clothes, like, you know, the quick outfit change ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that must take hours to set that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into that. That's too much for me.
He's off the
For now, he says.
Yeah, I'm a now sort of guy. If I hear the music, I'm getting down. If I have to get naked, I'll get naked in it.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
It's what I've got to do. I'll do it for the fans.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not getting naked now, though. I'm just letting you have.
You might have to use that one that made your head.
Oh, that's it. I'm hanging up.
You might have to do the same one, hey?
The peel, yeah.
Yeah.
Peel.
Now, well, have you got a serious motorcycle question?
No, I am completely shocked. I am completely off here. I am.
All right. Well, if you've got nothing, I've got some stuff that I wanted to have a chat with you about, Jake. Just about not about Moto 2, but about before then, about BSB. And again, for all those who aren't familiar with Jake, he's clearly English. He's come through the ranks.
You sound a bit like him, actually, Stu.
Yeah,
Is there a reason we invited you today?
Funnily enough, there might be. I'm actually an expat Donny boy myself, and I spent a few years in Chester, so that, you know, I've been to plenty of those tracks.
I think we're twins.
We're
long lost twins.
You should have shaved that bit out now, Jake. You should have shaved that.
You're not that old, Jake.
But yeah, so you came up quite quickly through BSB, and I want to talk quickly about 2018 because I think it was quite a big year for you, realistically. You finished second in the championship behind Haslam.
Yeah.
Which, you know, the caliber of rider that you're around there, never mind coming to Moto 2, would have been, you know, absolutely fantastic. Can you take us through 2018 and specifically there's a few things that I noticed when I was looking back. The first couple of rounds weren't so good for you. You had and a few bad results, but then after that it was all good. So what was going on in those first couple of rounds, and what changed after that?
Do you know what? It's the one thing that really mentally hampered me at the beginning of the season was the diet. I was on a diet and being strict, and one thing that you guys will come to learn with me, I do not do well with sticking to any diet or anything, but I've been like religious to this diet, weighing everything.
Yeah.
Come to round one, my head completely fell off
your head
the table.
Right. That does your head in.
Just thinking it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, thinking that everybody does this is the right thing to do. I'm in probably the best shape of my life, but I'm really, really hating racing. Like,
just from Sarah's perspective, did you see the change in Jake at that time?
Yeah, it was like 2018 is going to be your biggest year. Yeah, you've got to make all these serious changes, and as you probably guessed with Jake, he is a serious person when it comes to racing, but you're also quite just a chilled, relaxed, let's have a laugh kind of guy. And then you changed your diet, and it was like it's amazing what food and restriction has on you that's not you. And it was really quite stressful. Like, I noticed a difference, you know, in the evening after the sessions would finish and you sat and You weren't yourself at all, really.
No, because I'd have to come back and where at night usually I'd probably chill out after day one, and if I wanted to eat a pack of biscuits, I'll eat a pack of biscuits.
And you bloody deserve
Are you a jammy dodgers guy or a chocolate digestive guy?
Well, no, well at that point I wasn't vegan.
Yeah,
so
2018 we did.
Oh yeah, I was vegan. Yeah, but
Bourbons.
yeah, I'd have bourbons. Yeah, and just things that I can eat, but I wasn't allowed to eat at the time. So round one, I'm thinking this is shit. Like I have to come back and eat a peanut because that's all I'm fucking allowed.
3 almonds and half a carrot.
The results aren't even there. Yeah.
So basically, you were hungry. That's the conclusion, right?
Angry. Yeah. No, but yeah, that was the biggest thing for me. And then as soon as I changed that, the results started to come again.
Well, you were only off the podium 3 times for the rest of the year. Every time you finished a race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I don't think a lot of people know. Obviously, when I was sick, you know, it's going to have a big impact on those close to you. And Jake's seen everything. You've got to bear in mind, 2017, end of 2017, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I didn't finish my treatment until May 2018. So I was still going through chemo. I was still going through the worst days, and he's seen everything. Yeah. So when we went into 2018, I was petrified because I was thinking, I don't want this horrible disease to spoil Jake's chances of doing something great. So although you say, the diet, that was definitely something. If Jake can't eat biscuits, there's a serious problem.
I swear to God, lockdown's fucking hard.
It's a problem. But on the other side of it, he had a lot going on.
Yeah, there was something a bit more important than racing in his life.
Yeah,
of course. And it makes you realise that when you're in that moment of, like, this is serious, and almost racing comes second to it because...
It's a transition period to get into the season almost, isn't it?
Yeah. And it took a while to get into it. I had a good off-season. I had a really, really good off-season in 2018. I was super fast in testing, but then I just come to the round one. Remember, round one, though, it was Baltic. Like, it was so cold. It was like -1. We never, ever ride at -1. And it's a risk factor that you really you could do without. So we had a session where we done free practice straight into qualifying. It was like a combined session.
That was Donington, yeah?
Yeah, and lap 1 of the combined session, in the first session in the dry, I tucked the front. Like, literally just coming through, and as I tipped in, where obviously my tyre was cold because it's super cold, I just went down here, just barrel rolled. So then I'm like, I get 1 lap in qualifying. So I've got to put everything on the line in freezing cold conditions. And I think I qualified, I don't know, maybe 12th or 14th or something really bad. So then in race 1, I had to start to make my way through the pack. I made a lot of mistakes in race 1. I think I got up to 4th, and then I run off at the Melbourne Loop once or twice. I kept running on, and it was a disaster. The whole weekend was super bad. I can't remember exactly where I finished, but it was bad. And then we went to Brands, Indy, and it hadn't been the best of tracks for me. And then race 2, it was wet, and I was running in the leading pack and literally thinking, this is sorted. Like, I'm super fast. I feel super comfortable. They're all getting it in this race. Next thing you know, I'm on my ass. Yeah. So I had to take a moment, reset, come back at Alton, and then that's where I started getting podiums from that point on.
Yeah, and then you contrast that with towards the end of the season, back at Alton Park, you had the double victory.
Oh, absolutely.
What was that weekend like?
Yeah, great. Absolutely let them have it. It's sort of first round of the showdown, so I just thought, they're having it now. I just thought qualifying, I went out, and it was actually a weird situation because one of my best friends, Danny Buchan, was in front of me and I was behind him, and I could see him in the distance, and I'd just come across for my first flying lap, and I'd done a 33.9. So that was like a 1,000th off the fastest ever lap. Then Danny on the next lap goes into Island, crashes, red flag because he's knocked himself out and he's in quite a bad way. So we had to come back into the garage. My crew chief Glenn says to me, Jake, so 33.9, you're like 4 tenths faster than anybody. You do not need to do anything now. Just ride around until the end of the session because no one's going to beat that. Me being me, I'm thinking, nah, sod that. I'm having a go. He's like, you got 6 laps on the tyre now. Like, it's done an in lap, out lap, fast lap. So I go, yeah, whatever. So I come across the line and I did a 33.6. So I smashed the outright lap record and I was like peaking. He come in and he was absolutely fuming with me. He says, you are such an idiot. Like, what are you doing?
What did I tell you to do?
I felt good. I felt good, so they're having it.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, that was good. And the whole weekend was really, really good. It was wet first race, dry second race. And in the wet first race, I sat behind Tommy Bridewell and my quick shifter and blipper had stopped working completely when I got into the lead. And I'm thinking, shit. Like, I'm having to revert back to old school.
Old school,
right? Flicking down the gearbox. Going down the straight and shutting off to change up the gear. And I still won the race. And I was like, I come into the park firm. I was like, boys, my quick shift and everything stopped working. They're like, what are you on about? I'm like, I had nothing. They're like, how have you just won then? I'm like, I don't know.
Sarah, how do you go? You obviously with your family background, you've grown up around racing. How do you go watching the races? You enjoy it, or do you know some people we've spoken to they don't like to watch?
I suppose it's nerve wracking. Like it's just say for a race example, the first lap, you just want him to come around on the first lap, and then you can just like breathe. So, and like qualifying, and I noticed like the worst when he started, like last year, the results started to get better. That's when the nerves start to get more because it's closer. So it's like I don't feel everything. Obviously, he's racing, he's doing everything, but you get the energy from him. Like I get energy. And
she was saying the other day, like what she'd give to be in that moment when I cross the line if I've won, or be on that last lap when I've won, to feel what I'm feeling.
I'd love to just have that little bit sense of that, what you feel when you come across the line. Because, you know, when you're there and you say you win a race, everyone's happy for you. Like Team Dixon, we're all like happy, but I'll never know that actual feeling of being the person on the bike. I'd love to know really what that feels like.
Because you guys say you have such a strong connection and you go through so much together, and then that moment you're on the bike and you're here. So you go to every race?
Last year.
Yes, she goes to every one, and that, like, now with the situation that's obviously with this COVID-19, we're actually not allowed to bring any helpers along. So for the first time since I've been with Sarah, I won't be able to take her. So that'll be something difficult because she does everything when I'm at the racing, to sorting my levers, helmet, everything. So
you have to dress yourself and get yourself.
Yeah, literally wipe my own ass as well.
On your own undies.
Just ring it. Which leg do I put in first? No, sorry, I mean lastly, but yeah, cause it's that psychological support. So that's a game changer, really, isn't it? Well, for everyone will be the same.
I think for the rest of this year, it's going to be quite weird. It's not going to be the same buzz around the paddock. It can't be. There's no fans. There's no nothing really around it. And I think fans make it. At the end of the day, I think we're going to have to live with this disease that is what we've got at the minute. I don't think they're ever going to have a cure for it because it's just one of them things. But I think there'll be bad times and there'll be good times, and we'll just have to learn to live with it. So they can't stop the sport going and having fans there, because ultimately fans make the world go round when we go racing and stuff. So
it can't stop life.
Probably a good segue. I noticed from looking back through both of your histories, you both come from UK riding royalty. You've both got...
Oh, God.
No, walk us through that one, because it was Stu and I were talking about this, and I said, how do those families come together? Was this a planned marriage from the start, or was it?
Well, let's just put one thing straight. She just wanted me from day one, you know. Absolutely.
Yes, she's only human.
I must have been just glowing in her eyes when I walked up to her for the first time, you know.
That's what happened.
She's like,
I can see you totally agree with us.
Yeah, you know.
I'm just actually going to get a mouthful when I get off this now.
But how did you guys meet? How did that happen?
How did this happen?
Who chased who? I reckon it's the other way now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it was definitely me because I was obviously younger than Sarah, so it'd look a bit weird if when I was first met her, that she'd be thinking, yeah, I'd love to, like, you know, sort him out.
Yeah, it was like a 4 years later we got. So I worked.
You put the move on me for the first time. Like, I won't go into details, but you put the first move on. Let's get that. Who's like?
Was there a few baby shams involved?
I sent you a message.
Yeah, you sent me a message. Yeah, you know that. Yeah.
But I worked for Pirelli at the BSB. I still work for Pirelli now, but obviously more behind the scenes. But I used to do all the paperwork and everything there. And Jake would just come down all the time and just sort of sit whilst I was doing paperwork. Or
so he was stalking you then, right? See, I reckon he was chasing you. I'm pretty sure.
I'd say stalking.
Yeah.
I can't, lads. Back me up.
And then,
it's called trying to be noticed. That's what we do. It's
yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I didn't take Jake.
You slid into my DMs, though. Yeah.
And then it was like, I don't know, 4 years later or so. We'd known each other for quite a long time, and then and then that's how it will happen. Working at the racing, just being in that, you know, like in the racing, you're all like in this little bubble, aren't you? It's kind of like your.
You was definitely in my bubble at the time.
Oh my god!
Nice. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Both of our families are racing backgrounds, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's nice in a sense because everyone understands everything.
Yeah.
You know, we all get it. They like your dad, Dazzler.
Oh yeah.
He gets it. My dad gets it. You know, mums and a lot of them.
Same beliefs, the same core values, the same.
Yeah.
Dad always tells me, son, you need to live up to it. I'm 2 times world champion. I says, yeah, Dad, difference. 3 wheels, not 2. I said, so when I win the 2-wheel world championship, I've got one up on you.
Yeah.
Who's got the better sense of balance, Dad?
Oh, Dad,
who has a sense of balance?
Now, mate?
Yeah, that's it.
What's that? Number 1.
So you never got into riding, Sarah?
I've always I did a bit
You
of
do ride?
Yeah,
I
do ride, but never really got into it like competing or anything.
Actually, there's a story. So when we was training for the 19 season, we went to Spain at the beginning of 19 in Valencia to just spend a bit of time with the team because they're based there. And Sarah was there for 5 weeks, and I said to her, "Oh, come along, come ride with me." I bought her leathers with her and helmets and everything. She says, "Yeah, all right." So we start off. She's doing a figure of 8, and I'm thinking, yeah, she's quite good at it. Yeah, she's quite good at it. And then I was like, I was just trying to get her to have self-belief that the tyres aren't just gonna like wash away if you lean it over. So I'm like riding around with my arm off, like showing her, like
showing off.
So easy.
Yeah, but I'm like basically showing her that it is easy to get your knee down. Next thing you know, she's getting her knee down everywhere. I'm like, hang on a minute. It's just been half an hour and you got your knee down. So then she gets onto a bigger bike, she's getting her knee down everywhere. And I'm just like,
that was a fun day.
Yeah. She's impressive. Really
That's
impressive.
Brilliant. Love that.
That's that
Would have seen you on the
family
motor
heritage coming through
next
again.
year.
Yeah, definitely.
So you quite competitive with each other though?
Nah, she's got no chance in competing with me. Really.
No, exactly.
I nearly choked on my water. Just spat the water out.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, Jade, if you don't know Jade, he kind of just says it like it is, really. So
I'm like, whenever we go out anything like cycling or everything has to be to the next level. Like I'm screaming at her. It's no fun. And I went with my trainer the other day, and I'm training, and he wanted to do a 5K under 20 minutes. So 19, say 59 even. Mm-hmm. And I said, all right, well, I can do that. So I'll basically set the pace and you follow me. Yeah. So we set off. I'm screaming at him because he wasn't doing the pace.
This is your trainer.
Claire was walking the dog around there going, oh my God.
On the other side of the lake, I could hear Jake screaming. And I was thinking, thank God it's not me for once. That's why I'm leaving.
And he nearly threw up, bless him, at the end.
Oh, God. And this is your trainer.
Yeah, and he didn't even do the time. I was embarrassed. I says, "Who's training who here? Who's training who? I'm paying you for me to train you. How's that work?"
Bloody hell.
There's no performance bonus on that. Yeah.
Oh, that's gold. Brilliant.
I'm sure if I said, "Look, there's 300 quid if you get under 20," you'd do it.
Hey, I'd do it for that.
Yeah.
Even if I have to roll the whole way.
Give it a crack.
Do you train with any other rider, or you don't want to have friendship with other riders?
I don't think other riders like training with me. I think there's just a
Because
problem.
he yells at him.
I won't mention no names, but I had a bit of an incident yesterday with a couple of riders. If they ever watch this back, they know who they are.
What happened?
I think if you lived in Spain,
Yeah, I ride with a lot more people.
You've got a lot of friends in that paddock now, haven't you? Like,
yeah.
Most majority live in Spain. So I think if we lived in Spain, I think you'd be out a lot more with people, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would be. Yeah, I don't mind training with people. I don't
What
know
happened
what it
yesterday? Tell us what happened yesterday.
Oh, no, I had a bit of a... Oh, I passed one rider, and then the other rider obviously didn't like me passing him. And then he, like, completely stuffed me, like, nearly knocked me off. So then I come out. He come out the other side, started wheeling. So just basically to give
Where
me
was this? Were you training, or was it like riding on the road, or?
No. This was on like a training, like mini moto track, like supermoto and all that. And then I go into the next corner. I think I'm not having that. So I go and stuck him. And I'm like, I'm not having that. Like, egos are going at it here. Then I tip into the next corner. I don't see him. Then he comes trying to do me in one of the fastest corners. So I tip in on him. He hits the back of me. Tire marks all down the side of me. And then he runs off the track or whatever, and then pulls into the pits afterwards, and he's like, "Well, that was a bit dirty, weren't it?" And I was like, "Sorry, who was in front of who?
Who's pulling the
casual day out?"
Yeah. So is you were saying like you got lots of friends in Spain, or potentially lots of rider colleagues in Spain. Is moving to Spain something that you'd think about, given the potential trajectory of your career, or are you happy staying in England?
Look, the UK is so much better when the weather's good, but it's not.
How many months of the year is that?
But if you're not there on either of those days, then...
Actually, this week and next week's really good. It's like mid-20s. So
do you know it's probably nicer than here at the moment? Yeah.
But I think, to your question on that, I like doing the winter thing in Spain. So 5 weeks out there is good because you obviously get that weather where it's majority of the time's dry.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do a lot of riding. But yeah, possibly it'd be something. I wouldn't move there full time, but I'd like to have a home there that we can go from like 6 months there, 6 months UK. And we just flip between the two.
Laura, Spanish.
Laura, yes.
Right? Claudia, Adri, and Iris.
Iris.
Like, there's a few people that have become like really good friends. So
I'm really good friends with a few riders as well. So like Jorge Martin, I'm really good friends with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Andrew's after his number if you've got it handy.
Andrew's got a little...
We've got a couple.
She saw a picture of his abs.
While we're on that subject, how's your ab game, Jay?
My ab game's off the... His is nothing.
We've got a couple that listen...
I'll show you.
Yeah, you want to see?
Right, see?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you take a look at that. Oh.
Andrew's just going to go to the bathroom for a minute. She'll be back in a few.
I'm blushing.
There's a game we play on the podcast called Hot or Not, and look, Andrew, hot or not?
I'll say that in front of his wife and my husband.
Yeah, feel free.
It's better than yours, Dave.
Exactly.
Show us yours.
It was the anytime you want to sling us Jorge's number, just feel free. It's at Andrew. Just.
So, because let me explain to him. So we've got a couple that listen to our podcast, and because the guys keep asking me hot or not, which I'm never going to say someone's not because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
No, I'd rather you say if I'm not. Because then I know I can work on it.
Oh, I'm gonna say hot now myself. I've got a bank crush going on, so that's all right.
There you go. I
I'm the same.
don't
Any time down the path, Jake, that things don't work out, just like feel free. Yes.
Yep.
But yeah, so Gillian, she sent through. She's like, "You've got to check this guy out. He's got the best abs ever." So that's how Jorge came up. That was the recommendation.
That's just basically changed her view because it's now.
So now I'll tell her she needs to watch this so she can see yours. I can pay back.
Yeah. Compare.
We've just taken it up a notch.
What about your teammate, Chavy? You and him?
We do push-ups.
Yeah. So do you get along well with Chavy, your teammate?
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good. I think he's a really nice guy. He's helped me a lot through the transition between KTM to Calex. So that's always nice. I've got nothing against him. He's a nice guy. And yeah, it's just cool. It's cool to have someone that's you get on with rather than, it's all good and well having that team rivalry. Yeah, we have that. And I want to beat him as much as he wants to beat me. But we've got to look at it realistic. He's got a lot more experience in the Grand Prix paddock. So I'm like that sponge in a minute. That's taking
his
all
brain
the
and soak it all in.
information.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, taking all the good things that he does and then putting all the good things that I do and putting it together to beat him. So then he'll be wanting my good bits and I'll be going, nah, no good bits coming from me, mate. I'll be that bell end teammate that everyone's going, it's just so annoying.
How are you finding? Sorry, Manuel, you go.
Sorry. No, we did something with Remy Gardner and his girl, with Clara, and he was very clear that he doesn't want friends in the paddock at all. He said that it's important.
That is bullshit because he messages me. So he's absolutely lying, man.
Oh, Remy, you're busted.
I always say, if you look on his Instagram, he's always putting up bits of his car, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's like, is there anybody out there that knows if this disc's all right with the tolerance on it? And I put back, yeah, mate, I'm your man, I know. And he just puts back.
He got angry the other day. She was shaking the car and he got angry at her for something. She posted it on social media too. Like,
he's actually, I really like him, and I've not really spent a lot of time with him, but just over the sort of time that I have spoke to him, he's a cool guy.
He's actually gone. We got him on record. He said that if you're not willing to kick your own grandmother over on the final corner and then stomp on her, you've got no place in the paddock.
Yep.
We got him on record.
That's hilarious.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I've got no problems with that.
Yeah.
My nan will just go down on her own. She just wouldn't even. She'd play
Your nan,
save the kick.
His nan used to race as well. She used to race.
Get stuffed, really.
Yeah. No, my nan and granddad. So they used to be basically on a sidecar together. He'd be driving, she'd be passing.
She was the victim.
It's been in the family all the way through, and
so you've got 3 generations?
Yeah. And we've all been no, we haven't been out on track together. We've all been in the same facility on bikes together as well. So it's been pretty cool. I actually rode for the first time with my dad on track ever. Last year, I rode I think it was an RS 250, and Dad rode a Moto 3 modern day bike. So that was cool. I let him know who was the boss, though.
I was going to say, you raced a little bit.
Well, it was, like I said, it was not even a competition. It was like racing a novice. It was just embarrassing.
Did you put training wheels on it for him so he didn't fall over?
Yeah, I was like, Dad, do you know how to get your knee down? Yeah. I can teach you if you want. Because I know in your day you didn't have knee sliders.
Yeah.
If I go too fast, I might scare you. So.
I used to take the stickers off his bike when I went by him.
Nice.
Poor Darren.
All right, we've established that Remy's got some credibility issues. So how are you finding the transition over to Moto 2? How is it affecting the Dixon household? What are you having to change? Is it what you've expected? Is it easier? Is it harder?
I don't know. I always expected it to be difficult. It's never going to be easy, but it's like anything. If you look at my career, I will take time to, maybe not superbike, but 600. I've always not adapted the best to a smaller bike. So it took me a bit of time in Supersport to adapt to it. But then when I jumped to the bigger bike, I actually clicked a lot faster than what I did on the smaller bike. So with Moto2, I think it's a bit of the same. As you see at the first round, I'm starting to now come good. And I think it's only a matter of time where I really do believe that I'll be running at the front. It's just you've got to give me time and learn the tracks. Mm-hmm. I know all the tracks in the UK. I can go there and I can be fast straight away because I know every little bit on that track. Rather than if I go to somewhere like Motegi that I'd never been to, it's super difficult to go out and go fast straight away. So everything takes time. Where these boys, they know every inch of that track. They've come from Moto3, now they're going to Moto2, but they've not just done 1 year in Moto3. They've done 4 or 5 years in Moto3. Then now they're in their 3rd or 4th year before they even go fast in Moto2. They've got a lot of years. They've got 8 years of knowledge around that track.
Yeah, they've done a couple of hundred laps minimum before. Yeah. So that's the biggest factor. That is, and we're racing the best guys in the world. Everybody's close. So
can't you just get out the Xbox game or the PlayStation game and learn the track?
And just have a look at the cracks that are in the road and the bumps that are there. Yeah. I can really feel that through the controller.
Yep. Turn off the cheats, you'll be right.
No, but honestly, it does help to a certain extent. Like that new Finland track, I actually went on the computer and I know where it goes now. So before, I didn't even know where it went. Yeah. So they're the sort of things that if you know where you're going, like right to left, that's good for that. But the only way that you can really learn something is by doing a matter of laps. But the shit thing now with riding in Moto2 is we have no sessions. We have FP1, FP2, FP3, and then they used to have a long qualifying. And now you're basically a downer session. So you've got 3 sessions to learn before the race.
Yeah.
How's that possible against the best guys in the world? It's like, it's mad. It's madness.
Back to the Xbox.
Yeah, back to the Xbox, yeah.
Jake, how is it to go from how much 250 horsepower superbike to a smaller bike for a rider? It's like going to a slow bike, isn't it?
You wouldn't believe. So the best thing that I ever did was, or didn't do, is go from superbike to when they had the CBR 600. So I did that wild card in 17. I literally rode the week before at Cadwell Park. It's just one of the tightest tracks you can go to. Then to go to Silverstone, there's like one of the biggest tracks you can go to on a slower bike.
Yeah.
I got on. I literally come out of pit lane. I thought the thing wasn't running properly. I was like, "What is this?
Load is this in?
Skin off a rice pudding, mate." It's like that. What is it? I've not even. What was not doing anything? It's like a moped. So that was the biggest thing. It was just so slow, and that's the biggest factor to get your head around.
Right.
It was so slow, and even down to a certain extent, the Triumph wasn't so bad, but it's slow, isn't it? You ride in such a different way where you have more power. I like the more power because you have to control a lot more things. Yeah. You have to control slide. Comes with tyre life. I think at the minute they need to make the tyres softer in Moto2, so we actually have a tyre management race rather than the tyres are that rock solid that they don't ever wear out. You could do about 400 laps on it. And you'll be doing
make it more interesting in the last 5 laps.
It's just, I think they need to work on that. But
look, if you want to talk to someone at Pirelli, I might know someone.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing was the speed, like coming from superbike. It's much more enjoyable riding a fast bike than it is riding a moped. So
and you had a year on the Triumph back in 2015 as well on the 675. So jumping onto the 2019 bike, was that power delivery instantly familiar to you? Right, completely different, is it? Right.
Yeah, it's a 765 for one that we're riding now, and that was a 675. So it's 100 cc's different to what we're riding now. So it's got much more power. Yes, the characteristics of the engine and the firing order are the same, but it's different. So it's still, it felt familiar power-wise, but it's not, if you know, in the same sense.
Yeah.
Because it's that much more power than what I rode. And I rode a road chassis in Supersport, which is different to riding the Calyx, which is super stiff, completely different. It's so rigid. It's everything about that bike is so different to what I rode in 2015.
Jake, result-wise, what do you expect of 2020?
I'm just going to absolutely give it hammer. No, honestly, on a serious note, I think what you see from me from the first round was where I wanted to be. I think finishing 14th was a really good result. And it wasn't just finishing 14th. If you actually look from lap 10 to the end of the race, I was actually one of the fastest, if not the fastest guy on track to the end of the race. So I think you guys will end up seeing, maybe not straight away when we get back, because obviously now it's been a long time back off the bike, so it's almost like starting from zero. But I think definitely towards the end of the season, you can, depending on how the season goes, if everything goes well, runs smooth, I finish races, I don't get injured, you'll see me at the end of the year be really fast. And I honestly believe I can be inside the top 10 towards the end of the year, if not top 5 in races. So.
Great to hear. And you think the SRT team is the right team to give you that? Good team?
It's nuts, mate. That's all I can say about it, honestly. That team is, everything about them is just so professional, so good. And hopefully it's a long-lasting relationship that we can have together and we can eventually move to Grand Prix.
Yeah, like go and kick that retiree out of the MotoGP team.
That would be your preference? Yeah. Do you think that's compatible with the Jake riding style, or do you see?
Yeah. I think more so. If you see me on I know it's all ifs and buts and sitting here and saying I'm going to do this, that, and the other, but I generally think, given my record on big bikes, give me the chance on I know I need to do it on the Moto2, which I will, but once you see me step up to the MotoGP, that's where you'll see me really excel and come to my own, because I know how to ride that bigger bike. And I think I'll take to that much faster than I take to the Moto2.
Yep. Jake, I think you have the right passport for that. The right passport.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm going to be the one that takes Valentino's ride.
Well, that's what I was saying. See, there's a rumor going around that he's gone to the SRT team, so in a couple of years' time, he can actually go back down to Moto2.
We're trying this rumor,
right? So I reckon, here we go. Here's another one of Stu's predictions. 2020, Jake's going to have a great year with SRT. 2021, he's going to win the whole thing in Moto2 with SRT. Ballet's going to have a shit year with SRT and MotoGP. 2022, it's easy.
Switcheroo.
Just swap them around. Winner, chicken dinner.
Just be like Ballet, step aside.
Yeah.
Step aside,
the first time Stu put this theory to Manuel fell off the back of his chair.
and I told him, and I told him that broccoli is to be eaten, not to be smoked.
But no, in all seriousness, mate, I look forward to seeing you in the top flight, most definitely. I know you're going to be very, very competitive there, indeed.
Thank you.
Sarah, I've got just a sort of question for you. Obviously, you travelled to most of the BSB races. Are you planning on doing all the Moto2? How is that travel going to be for you? Are you going to be there for every race for the season, or is there going to be select ones that you're in and out on?
Last year, everyone. Last year we did everyone together.
Yeah. It was so sick as well.
We were lucky enough to do it together, for number one. And number two, it was incredible to experience everything new, because there's only ever going to be one first year
exactly.
something, right?
Yep.
So it was the first one. So the memories are even more special, because it was the first time to everything for both of us. And then to see Jake going through what he was going through and doing what he was doing was pretty special.
It's not the same, is it, that if I go and travel the world and Sarah's at home and she's not living the same success or same passion as me, there's no point in being together.
Yeah, that's
true.
I will make any in my power to take her with me every year. Like, it will never be, unless the circumstances now are different, but as soon as I can bring her back to the racing, she'll be there. She'll be there till I retire, till I want to finish. And I'll have in the future, family with Sarah. I'll take the kids and I will do that, because I think it's good to be apart and be at one with each other. I don't want to be at home and and being a mother that's watching me on TV having all the fun where she's not, we're going to have fun together and we're going to live the dream together, you know? So that's good.
Speaking about babies, who looks after Larry when you're travelling to go to races?
Well, who's this?
Little Lazar,
Hello, buddy.
real star of the show.
We've got a couple of we've got my she's my stepmom. She's my ex-stepmom, but she's my stepmom. She looks after him. Cool. And then
we won't go into that.
Yeah. And then we've got
there's a whole episode there by itself, isn't there?
Sorry, all I'll say is play.
Oh,
she's a good dog sitter.
Yeah. And then we've got we've got a couple of people who look after him, but he doesn't go to the kennels. He goes to homes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
because that would be difficult.
He knows we're talking about him now. He's literally walking off.
He came to Valencia with us last year when we went for 5 weeks. He came out with us.
He actually went to one of the tests as well at Valencia, and he was in the garage.
Yeah,
that much of a legend. He was in the garage.
Nice.
Poor him.
You have little doggy earmuffs for him and everything.
He actually hates motorbikes. He tries biting the wheels on anything that's got 2 wheels. He hates it.
Yeah, so does Cal Crutchlow. So.
That's true.
Try to interview him and a bike goes past.
Tell me something about your first full season around the world. What country has impressed you more?
Australia. Have you been to Australia?
Honestly,
it's Australia.
Australia I'm gonna move there when I retire.
You've never been. My best friend's Australian, and I've been a couple of times over there.
The bush. I'm going to live in the bush.
Yeah, and then we went to stay with Richards and Jilly, his wife.
Oh, that was sick. I literally we went enduro riding from his house into the bush. I'm riding alongside kangaroos.
Yeah.
They can't be far in Australia.
We call that Tuesday, mate. Yeah.
I was literally, and I will move there. We will move there. Sorry, I'm saying
I'm moving.
We will move there as a family when I retire because it's so sick.
We eat both our national emblems. So.
Only country in the world that eats both. On our coat of arms, we've got.
No, don't say we. We don't all, but
and we eat both of them.
we don't all, don't we?
And they're both delicious.
You're getting a bit of a reputation in an absolutely positive way for being the go-to guy on the grid, Jake. Your BT interview at Phillip Island last year, I've actually showed my kids that. And of if you want to know how to handle the press, this is it.
Do you know what I've done? It sounds really arrogant and big-headed. I've done that many interviews. I can't even remember what I said. What did I say? I chat that much shit.
Yes,
I generally don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah. It was absolutely brilliant. They could not get a question in sideways on you.
I think I remember that. Oh, Neil was walking towards, and I was like, "Oh, Neil," something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I remember that one, yeah.
And it was the one where Susie Perry since then has just been constantly at you. And he goes, is Jake still talking?
She's trying to slip into my DMs all the time. I'm saying, look, I'm married now, Susie, all right?
Yeah.
Just lay off.
I appreciate the attention, however.
I generally say that to her as well. Look,
take a hint.
Yeah, take a hint. I'm not interested, all right? God.
He likes the older woman, but,
Yeah, God, there's an age limit. There's an age limit.
You can't badmouth Susie in front of Dave.
He's blushing.
Now you got me blushing.
Talking of players.
Send her a picture of your abs, David.
Yeah. Look, I'm halfway through my first sit-up for the day, so... Look, we might end it there, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you. There's nothing else that you wanted to chime in with there, Manuel?
No, I'm fine. I'm great, and I hope to see you around. I am off the circuits like you are, but we are fighting to get in, because if not, it will be a disaster.
Yeah. I think media need to be there, fans eventually need to be back there. I think hopefully the whole situation gets better and we can do some more interviews on the TV that you guys can enjoy.
Whereabouts are you guys? Because you're in Spain, Mario.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Whereabouts in Australia and?
I'm in Brisbane, in sunny Queensland.
And Dave and I are both in Adelaide, but other ends of Adelaide, in South Australia.
Don't bother.
It's way better than Queensland.
Yeah.
They're a bit funny over there.
What's hotter at the minute? Where's hotter at the minute?
Oh, Queensland.
Spain.
Spain.
Yeah.
Manuel tried to cover off his pool the other day.
Actually,
That's why he's all tanned.
I think it's actually UK.
Yeah,
We're not far off.
You're in that transition period, yeah.
Today we are 32, 33 here.
Yeah, today we're 43, 44.
Temperature, not age, thank you, ladies. Yeah, we're going down into autumn, so it's about 26 here at the moment, 25.
He's always got a one-up, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's actually going back into winter and it's still like 43.
Look, Sarah, just didn't know where to slide this in on the conversation, but one of the things I picked up out of your Instagram, you're a huge...
You're not having a number.
No. Because like Adelaide, big wine district. Like if you're going to have, anywhere in Australia where you're going to come with wine, you're a huge fan of a spritz.
Yes, I am.
Tell me the story behind this, because woman after my own heart. Like this is like
she's married, David.
We've got to bring the spritz. This is
I'm going to end the call now.
This is the first time in 20 years I've heard that worded, and I was sitting there going through it and going, a spritz. I remember those.
Yeah, I'm not that old.
She is about 43 though.
Is this something
wrong with being 43?
Is this something you picked up from your family?
I don't know.
It's just a British thing, isn't it?
It's absolutely brilliant.
What is it, like bubbly wine?
Aperol Spritz.
Yeah, Aperol Spritz.
Aperol Spritz.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
Have you ever had an Aperol
delicious.
Spritz?
Andrew, I'm coming round. We are going to write ourselves off.
I'm a simple Aussie girl.
Wow. Andra, this is the most coolest thing to drink in Italy now.
Yes.
Spritz.
Yeah.
Super cool.
I like to drink. I like to drink my wine out of those silver bags that come in a box. So then when you finish drinking them, you can blow it up and you've got a pillow at the end of the night.
Sarah likes to just basically empty the flour pot, fill the flour pot up and just be like, drink the Spritz.
If we're ever
in the same country,
all in the same place, we are going to go and have a spritz.
I won't have one. I won't have one until then.
No,
I won't have one too.
I won't have one until then. I'll stick to my goon bags and my beer until we meet.
Indeed.
I don't drink because for one reason I like to hug toilets after drinking. So
yeah.
I was bad.
Non-handler.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we might leave it there. Thank you so much, Jake. Look, it's been absolutely fantastic to have both of you. We cannot wait to see Two Wheels back up and running again and seeing Team Dixon absolutely crushing it.
Absolutely, just lighting it up. If I win a race, watch, I'm going to blow the Triumph up.
Do it. Do the country proud, mate. Look forward to seeing you flying the flag. Have an amazing year. I know you will. Look forward to seeing you here in Australia soon. And yeah, if we're ever in the same place, we'll definitely get on that gear and spritzers for sure.
It's on.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for everything, Jake. Good luck, okay?